Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right. So today we want to watch a video with you guys as we do our live reaction of a video of a palm-colored man. I feel like this is interesting. Who knew that he used to be racist?
He still is racist.
Right. He's still racist, but the difference is he wants to change his ways and he wants to unlearn this. Now, because he's never known any other way of living, he doesn't know and he needs help with it.
Right. And why we brought this case to you guys here today is because he has a biracial daughter, but the daughter is not biologically his. The mom is white and she used to be married to a black man. She left him to marry this white man
despite knowing
how racist he was. Anyway, we don't want to talk too much, guys. Let's just watch this video, and then as we do our live reactions, you can also let us know what you think on the comment section.
Right.
Let's watch.
After our first episode of Facing Race, a white man from Renton emailed us saying that he needed advice, even some help. Tonight, Kristen Ayers begins a series of reports about his personal reckoning with racism.
His name is Steve Ramey, a 60-year-old white Western Washington man, a husband, a father. And there's one more thing you should know about Steve.
I know that I'm racist and I don't want to be. I don't mean to be. I'm trying not to be.
Late last year, on an episode of King's Facing Race broadcast, he admitted,
I see a group of white kids and I see a group of black kids. I'm going to be more on guard with the black kids because of the way that I was trained, the way I was raised.
Not what you'd expect from a man whose stepdaughter, Caitlin Noble, is biracial. Steve married Caitlin's mother, Alex, and has raised Caitlin since she was a toddler.
Yeah, he's all I know as a father figure.
Mounting unrest over a nationwide fight for racial justice has opened a chasm between Caitlin and her parents.
Honestly, right now, I don't really feel very connected to them.
They've stopped talking, and that's where race educator Karina Hooks comes in.
So what did you make up about yourself having different skin color than the rest of your family?
Over the next few days, we're taking you inside a family's fight to do the hard work of facing race.
I want you to know that if you're not feeling this, like anger, frustration, sadness, guilt, shame, all of that, we're not doing good work. I think about the episode that I watched, and the part that still rings through my ears is, I'm a racist and I want to change. What makes you not the norm is that you're admitting that you're a racist and that you want to change. That's different. It's very rare. I don't know if in my 20 plus years of doing this work, I've ever heard a white person say those words exactly.
I definitely feel shame when I say it, you know what I mean? And I'm not who I want to be for Caitlin.
Caitlin says she's grown up in Renton, largely without her black biological father.
At what point did you realize that you were different in your family?
I would go up to my mom or my aunt and I'd be like, why am I not this color? Why can't I be your color? Like, I wish I was your guys' color.
And did you internalize that? Like it was something wrong with you versus something wrong with them?
Yeah. I always had issues with my own beauty and like having self-love.
What do you think's wrong with you? Just be with it.
Not good enough.
According to who? I've got you.
To the white man.
Okay, you know, I find it quite sad that she's really feeling these types of feelings, and I'm asking myself, as this is happening, where is her dad, her biological dad?
Yeah, because she's feeling so empty as a pertaining self-worth, and I'm like, should she have been exposed maybe to her dad's side of the family? Maybe she'd have had lighter feelings about herself, because she's really beautiful.
Right, and then the problem is that she grew up with a racist father. That's
that's the biggest
problem. But we have to give it to him. He wants to change to be a better man. But let me just say, some damages that are done during your childhood traumas, you never recover from them. Let me say, they shape who you become as a grown adult. Let's keep watching.
You know, I'm asking myself, why would he consciously, and he was a grown man, you know, why would he consciously do this to this girl? Like, I feel like this is just a self-reflection of the, you know, the shitty person he used to be and how he used to feel shitty.
Right, but why would a mother put their daughter through this? Why would you marry someone? You have a black child, you marry someone and you know very well, they don't even
marrying your own kind is not bad, but why would you marry a racist one?
Being that you have a different child.
Sure enough, at the next session, while Caitlyn hardly says a word, Karina doesn't mince her words.
There's nothing wrong with being funny. The question is, at whose expense?
Humor is going to always be at somebody's expense, unless it's a knock-knock joke.
If jokes are race-related, class-related, gender-related, like, should not happen. We just have to own it. Like, I'm actually being offensive. And I don't care.
But isn't it the perception of how the person's taking it?
If it has a history of oppression and hurt in this country, I would offer there's nothing funny about it.
So I need to look at why I think it's funny?
Yes.
Okay.
That
makes more sense to me.
And why you think it's okay.
The question of why is going to take Steve back in time to his very first encounter with racism.
Like probably kindergarten. I'm playing with a kid, and that was back when they had white and black drinking fountains. And we both drank. He got beat, and I got yelled at. The difference between him drinking out of that and me was the punishment part. You know what I mean? It was just, he got beat. And I was told, don't ever let black people drink out of a white drinking fountain.
So what did
So that was his first racist encounter. And guys, mark you, he was very young, but he noticed and he knew and he understood.
Yeah, meaning right now he's 60. There's no way you can tell me he has never not known a racist situation when he is putting someone through racist comments.
Or wrong or
right. He knew, because if that was the first time and it was in kindergarten, he noticed. He knows what's right and what's wrong. He just keeps doing it to make himself feel better and to get one over the person he is inflicting this kind of pain to.
I think in America it's a norm. It's why
for the palm colored people it's a norm.
Yeah.
you make up then about black people?
I guess just the whole part about you look different, so you are different.
Karina says that's where it all started. And even now, Steve's experiences still color his relationships with people who are not white, including his daughter.
You heard her mention seeking and desiring self-love. And I will say that jokes will not support that for her.
Guys, I think we'll stop the video there. If you want to watch such videos, we got it from a channel called King 5 Seattle. I feel like they have very nice episodes there, and they're very educative.
Yes, I think they're also eye-opening.
Very eye-opening. So guys, you know, what I'm wondering is, as a mom, you need to aim and look forward to protecting your child.
Right.
And this is a daughter. Not to say that a boy child
deserves less. They both do deserve better.
Right. So make my question is, as a mother, knowing you know your own people, you know your own kind, the least you can do is, if you're going to get married, to remarry into someone else's family, at least look at the kind of family you're marrying into, and how do they treat people? Are they gonna be good to your child? Because now I do admire the fact that, let's give him props, the fact that he wants to change and he wants to do it because of the stepdaughter. But before the daughter, because right now she's a teenager and he's 60 years old, and he's been raising this child since childhood, you get?
Yeah, I feel like if you really mean it and you put in the work, it doesn't matter if you have a professional helping you or not. If you put in the work, you can surely change. I'm gonna give an instance. Like, for example, you are a woman who is pregnant and you're soon going to give birth to your baby, and then after you give birth to your baby, you realize that you really curse out a lot. You have a foul mouth, and then for the sake of your baby, you say that before my baby can reach a cognitive stage, I want to try and clean out my mouth so that my baby doesn't become a person who curses a lot, you know. You know, I've seen people who do that, and people who successfully manage to change and even bring up their kids with good manners.
Right. I don't know if it's fair to compare the two situations, but it was just an example.
It was an example, yeah.
So the second thing I want to ask is, where was this child's father? Because from what we got from the story is that this girl has no black representation in her life whatsoever. So at least if she was connected to her father's side, she would have seen her aunts who look like her, people who have hair that look like hers, and her beauty standards wouldn't only be perceived
aligned with white people.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I understand she really has issues, and one thing she said from the interview was that she doesn't feel like she's beautiful, and like, I'm looking at this child and I'm like, she's very pretty, she shouldn't be having, like, beauty is one of the things. I do understand everybody have their own issues when it comes to body images, but not the kind that she should be having, because clearly she doesn't even know what it's like to, like, she doesn't, it looks like she doesn't appreciate who she is as a person.
Yeah, and however the parents left each other, the mom and the dad, that is, I just wish the dad could have taken more initiative to be in his child's life, to be taking his child knowing to the other side of the family.
Right, especially knowing the kind of race she is and the kind of problem she would experience as she grew up.
Right. So guys, let's take a look at the comments, and someone here, of course, she's palm colored, she's saying, this is a very brave man, you know, for coming outside with his feelings. His struggle is very relatable to many.
Really? You know, I didn't know they felt that way.
Right. So this is giving us also as a, you know, people of different races an insight. So from how she's speaking, it's like it's something they struggle with.
And learning their, you know, what has been normal to them and what has been taught. Another person says, an honest man who intends on growing as a person, I can respect it. Definitely a step in the right direction for him. Another one, also her mom isn't ish for allowing that man to treat her child that way. That poor girl seems miserable. It's what I was asking. What was, like, you know, the mother hasn't spoken, she hasn't done anything. Like, I would like to know. We are wondering,
is she also a racist? And if she is she doing anything to change
complicit? It? That's most definitely.
It looks like she is complicit.
I'm not sure what I just watched, but this raises far more questions than it answers. Yeah, you're left with the questions. Anyway, guys. Anyway, let me read the next one. This is disgusting. This girl is being abused by the people that are supposed to love her. Do you guys remember when this child was talking, she was being interviewed, and she said something along the lines of she doesn't relate to her parents, that being both her mom and
meaning
her
she has completely disconnected. And more often than not, for people to disconnect like this from the people they love, the people they live with, the people they eat in the same table at, for someone to disconnect like this is probably because that is her coping mechanism for trying to protect her emotions.
Yeah, and for her to detach from both her parents,
guys, both of them put her through
a lot. And then let's not take this with any sort of lightness. This man has raised this child since she was a toddler.
Yeah, and you know, some may argue at least he was there to raise her, unlike her father. But yo,
better I would have rather the mom just raise her daughter
alone if she's loving. But you know, you've mentioned she's also disconnected from her mom, meaning the mom and the dad, they're all cut from the same cloth.
That's sad. That's sad, because the question is, how do they repair their relationship from there? Being that it's like that situation where you're being bullied when you're growing up, and then you finally get to a stage where you can be able to make decisions that are good for yourself, and then you decide you won't allow your bully to get the better of you. You're gonna disconnect, and it's something you grow and you never ever forget until you grow very old, you know. So I'm asking myself, this girl, as the dad sits there and talks about how he wants to reform and be a better person because he wants to be a better dad to her, like, does she agree with that, or does she just
think he's doing it for the show now that the show is there?
Because she's really quiet when her dad is seated there being, you know, interviewed. I'd like to hear from her, like, the real situation growing up in such a household, because I do believe a racist person they never have the politest or kindest words for black people. They always have, you know. And then when they say you don't joke with gender, you don't joke with matters to do with race, you know, and I'm like, I mean, for them it's normal to always pass off, you know, those little comments as being like jokes, you know. Anyway guys, let us know what you think about this episode on the comment section, and we'll see you on our next episode.